Good morning and a very warm welcome to Newsline, live from the Newsfirst studios and broadcasting live on that brand new channel, TV1, the new channel from the Capital Maharaja Group. And joining me this morning is former diplomat and senior journalist Bandula Jayasekara. Good morning, Bandula.
Good morning.
And how are you?
Good. When do we say yes, Prime Minister?
Soon. We'll do that
Very
soon. And joining us on this wonderful morning is Chandima Virakudi, the Cabinet Minister in charge of Petroleum Resources Development. Very good morning to you, Chandima.
Yeah, good morning.
Delighted to have you on the network. And now that you're here, perhaps you can answer. Crashing world oil prices. From November till now, in the last 3 months, a big difference. Why is there no difference? Why is there no difference at the pump? Why am I paying the same price?
Well, as many...
There you go, look at the chart.
Yeah, as many Sri Lankans, we tend to forget. When the prices were very high in prior to mid 2014, Petroleum Corporation was compelled to sell at subsidized prices, which resulted a heavy loss for the corporation. In spite of that, in 2014, twice the prices are brought down. And in 2015 January, huge price cut down was given to the Sri Lankan consumer, which I suppose most people have forgotten by now.
Right.
And also, in addition, presently we sell to the consumer the products that we have purchased prior to October last year. So of course we want to give the benefit to the people of the country, but if the corporation is heavily burdened with debt, indirectly the impact goes back down the line to the citizen of the country. So we are now in a process of lining up the corporation, and also we are ready with a formula to introduce a transparent mechanism to decide on the fuel prices in Sri Lanka.
A quick question comes to mind. It wasn't planned. Can you share with us that formula?
Well,
you have a wide audience.
Yeah, the formula is like the proposal that I've submitted has taken into consideration issues faced by the consumer, the business community, then the petroleum dealers, the other entities that are involved in the petroleum sector, mainly the Petroleum Corporation, its infrastructural issues.
But how do you relate all this into a mathematical formula?
Well, we have sought the advice of the senior officials of the Treasury and my ministry, and as I told you, the segments like the dealers and other related, their contribution.
Yeah.
We have formulated a scheme which will be determined finally at the cabinet with the observations from the Ministry of Finance.
Have you sent the proposal to the cabinet already?
Yeah, it is before the cabinet. Of course, we are awaiting Finance Ministry observations. Are you
able to disclose that formula to us on the air?
Well, till such time the cabinet decides, it's not, I believe,
it's not ethical
for me to reveal it to the public.
There are ethics too.
There are ethics.
Chandima, what about now? Iran is back.
Yeah.
What about the purchase of oil from Iran? We can get back, and we can...
Well, that was a good news for Sri Lanka. The moment I heard it, I instructed my secretaries to contact Iranian ambassador in Sri Lanka, and I had a meeting, a very cordial, fruitful meeting with him last week. And I suppose, got a green light to move forward to to negotiate to import crude oil like how
Like
we used to
before,
do,
yeah.
and also they're keen on a private investment
Into what?
into a refinery, and also further they said they could go back to tea oil
Agreement.
kind of like.
But Sapugaskanda was a gift by them, right? The
Yeah,
oil refinery,
Sapugaskanda was given by the Iranians almost 50 years ago,
Right.
and there was a refurbishment project that was proposed. So we discussed about the possibilities into that as well, and they're willing to help us in agriculture sector and in technology, because nanotechnology there is very well in advance, very advanced.
And how much of credit would the Iranian government give us when they supply the crude?
Well, during difficult times they have gone up to even 6 months.
Or 8 months. I remember former President Mahinda Rajapaksa
Yeah.
during the conflict, they had given 8 months credit.
6 to 8 months they have given. So that was like during difficult times.
Aren't we having difficult times now?
Well, one must look at world economics.
Yeah.
Like world is collapsing economically. Now, if you take Europe, there is a decline in the growth. Even in China, there is a decline. If you go to the US, progress is very slow.
Yeah.
Except for India, which is presently maintaining a growth. Rest of the world is really suffering of a economic come down. So invariably, as a small country, we are affected. But we have to think of strategies how to overcome and penetrate in the world as a upcoming country that is coming up.
Chandima, what's the fuel allowance for this jumbo cabinet, the ministers, the deputy and all that? What's the fuel allowance?
Well, to tell you, we can go up to 200,000 rupees worth fuel.
That is
But-
cabinet, the state ministers, deputy ministers.
I suppose per person. But it's now. But
Is that a lot of fuel or a little fuel?
well, with the vehicles now, I'm compelled to use my official vehicle. Does only 4 per liter.
What do you travel in?
It's a Q7,
Right.
so it's that can do
It's
only.
not fuel efficient.
It is not. I don't know why it was imported.
So why on
Who
earth?
imported was the previous minister.
no, the deputy minister before the previous minister.
Who is that? If you remember, let's name names.
Yeah.
Well, whoever it was.
Yeah. As
We have to find out.
That's
Just,
bro-
gentlemen's uncomfortable telling us who it was, okay?
No, we are the
look it
people's,
up on the
we are the
internet.
people's channel.
Look it up on the internet. But no, seriously, why can't the ministers band together and tell whoever it is in charge of procurement that as a matter of example, that at least the cabinet of ministers must insist that they get electric cars,
well, we had to
at
be
least hybrid.
No, well, we had to be practical. Now, I remember when my uncle was first elected chief minister, he said he was using a car, and he said, okay, if once I'm elected, I'll go by double cab. But
Right.
finally, what happened to him? He fell sick.
And he was a simple man.
Yeah.
If you, I don't know, for us,
Well-
Amarasuri Dodangoda,
Yeah.
who was a
Yes.
veteran SLFP, a very
Yeah.
simple man.
Yeah, finally he fell sick because the amount of running that we do,
Yeah.
and electric car. If we are given electric cars, of course, to use in Colombo from the home to the ministry kind of thing, it's perfect.
Yeah.
But in my case, I
And
had
on
to,
the odd occasion that you all turn up in Parliament.
yeah, that's okay for a second car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. But in my case, now I represent Galle district, though I'm a minister. I had to always run up and down to Galle to meet my people.
But Mercedes S400, which is with the hybrid part of that, would suit you nicely, surely. It's
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah, S400.
But
would
why do we
certainly,
need these cars?
Would certainly, like I would prefer, but in road clearance,
Yeah.
as members who represent rural areas,
Ah,
we need a
okay. You need a.
vehicle with high clearance.
So what do you use then? Some sort of SUV?
I use an old Montero which was brought down by during the time of Honorable Fauzi.
But for us, if I may share experience, now we are talking difficult roads. But why can't we learn from India? I had the opportunity of traveling 4 days with Maneka Gandhi, 2,400 kilometers, a normal Indian ambassador car. Why can't we learn from them?
Well, normally ambassador car is very comfortable, to tell you.
Yeah, but Indian made it.
And also in, like, you know, you wouldn't have gone into interior places.
Yeah, I went to an electorate called Pilibhit. For 4 days I travelled. That was an amazing experience. So why can't we?
No, certainly. I mean, if you must join me to know where we go to, as to whether we can go to those places in a car.
But you know, about a year ago, or maybe let's say 2 years ago, we noticed in one of our papers in the magazine, the Hit ad, that you could buy any car, any premium make, including Land Rover Discovery, for only $35,000. It was actually the cheapest place in the world to buy this car. You know, perhaps the government should have invested in that and bought all these, because then you can use them and go off-road into all sorts of remote places.
Yeah.
But is that something that you might want to tell the Treasury Secretary? Tell him that we said it's the cheapest place in the world is Sri Lanka.
To buy, yeah.
Yes.
Chandil, it's told that you don't have a proper office. Is it true?
What about
as
that
the Minister
story?
for Petroleum Resources?
Well, I have an office, but of course I have an office for the Minister, and there is another cubicle for the Private Secretary, but the rest of my staff is like seated.
Officeless.
The Deputy Minister?
She's accommodated outside in the Petroleum Corporation premises.
Oh. That's down, yeah.
Even for me, I had to go to the Petroleum Corporation premises for the public day, because like there is no place to accommodate a lot of people there.
But I remember going there when the present speaker was the Minister of Energy.
Yeah.
It's a large building. It's a large house.
Yeah, it's a large house.
Yeah.
The part of it is not being utilized by the ministry presently.
Oh, I see.
So that's
Why
one
is
of the
that?
reason. No, it's due to various other reasons that is not being used by the ministry presently.
So are you looking for new space?
Well, we looked for,
Yeah.
but it's very difficult to now. For instance, to be frank about it, we wanted the next door.
Yeah.
Like that was offered to us. Then I obtained cabinet approval as well.
Right.
But then the landlord, my next door, wanted 1 year upfront.
Right.
Again, as per government circulars, which is not possible.
Right.
The only way out had been for me to go back to the cabinet. But then, had I gone back and asked for 1 year instead of 3 months, I would have certainly created a news for you all.
No, but again,
or for a newspaper that is now controlled by the United National Party.
But again, for us, but I'm sure you are close to the Prime Minister's office down Flower Road. Maybe you can ask him for some space.
But he may be having his own affairs in his premises.
Indeed, indeed. Tell me, Chanima, I noticed your title is Petroleum Resources Development. What have you done to develop the potential resources? Is there oil off our coasts? Is there?
Well, we have discovered gas in 2 other 4 wells that were in which seismic studies were done by Cairns of India. They have invested close to $300 million.
How economical is it to get that gas out?
Well, we, like as Sri Lanka, we are not in a position to invest such colossal amounts of money to explore, into exploration operation. Of course, we have invited investors. So the arrangement will be initially to go in for profit sharing of about 20/80 and to have a program of which we will benefit eventually.
I think what I'm trying to find out is how economical would it be for the operator to to extract this gas.
Well,
Is it feasible?
we have a 25-year plan, according to which the like if you visit our Petroleum Development Resources Development Secretariat, housed in Selinko building,
Right.
we have all the data, and they'll explain as to how an investor could be benefited. We have all the possible infrastructure available, the data is available, and there is attention towards Sri Lanka. There is good news, that is Total, the largest company in France.
Yeah.
It's number 3 oil company in the world.
Yeah.
Is coming to Sri Lanka for a joint study. We will be signing in an agreement on the 18th of February.
Is that costing us any money, or are they coming on their own?
No,
What have we got to pay?
What about Gazprom, the Russian and the Australians? They've also interested. Are they involved? Only India?
They are shown their interest. So we are awaiting, and in fact we are ready with presentations to convince other players also to come. And there's another company, Bonavista, that's a Singaporean company. They are also keen. They are also into we are processing their proposal to allow them to a block up north the country. So likewise, there will be anyway going on for a bid round in a couple of months.
And for us, I think Salia was heading this project, right? Vikramasuriya. Is he still involved?
Yes, Salia Vikramasuriya is the Director General presently as well.
To discuss more about the development of our petroleum resources, stay tuned. We'll be back after this short break. Welcome back to Newsline, broadcasting to you on TV1, the brand new channel from the Capital Maharaja Group. And this morning we have the Minister in charge of that valuable commodity, petroleum resources development. So what you're doing in this development of this potential, will it come to pass soon, do you think? And how soon is soon?
Well, we are into expediting the process, and of course we have to formulate laws firstly in order to attract investors. So we have come to the almost final stages of drafting a new legislation for petroleum resources development. The Attorney General has more or less finalized the draft, and it's with the legal draftsman presently. So we should be able to implement the laws very soon. And then a policy on gas. We don't have a policy on gas in Sri Lanka. We are formulating that as well, because in order to convince investors into the country, we have to show them, look here, our laws are in place. You don't have to fear about stepping into Sri Lanka, because there is enough attention towards Sri Lanka, as opposed to the neighboring countries. Lots of investors prefer investing in Sri Lanka as at now. The only concern is the downturn trend in the industry. So most big players are not making enough profit.
I'm getting a question that's coming in to our control room. They're saying that the pipeline, I think they're talking about the offshore thing where the fuel is transported in. They say the caller is saying that this is old, it leaks, and there's a lot of wastage, and they're wondering why you can't fix it.
Well, it has. These are about one line is about 70 years old.
Right, they just said 60 plus. Yeah.
In fact, we have blocked one line. Unfortunately, we had a line now when unloading. Once, if you we have been unloading through Kolonava, which takes about 6 to 7 days. Whereas there was a facility available. There is a facility available to unload to Muthurajavela. Through that facility, we could unload within 2 days. But that facility was not used to the optimum. I, as the minister, decided to shift the unloading facility towards Muthurajavela, and at the same time, in order to relay the pipes, I have submitted a cabinet paper to get cabinet approval, and it's going to the cabinet. Probably this, I have submitted it already, the paper.
Yeah.
So I hope to relay the pipes matching the latest technology.
Right.
Very soon.
Chandima, you said we talk of Sali Vikramasuriya for us, and then the only expert we have when he's spearheading. But why was this poor man harassed? If you can answer it.
Well, that's
nothing to do
beyond
with you.
my
But you are using his services now.
No, he's an expert. He is an intelligent professional that we need for our country and for oil exploration and such things. So we have to have him.
I want to ask you this question. You mentioned that you in dealing with these foreign companies and so on, and that you are formulating the laws and that sort of aspect. In your dealings with these companies, can you tell me honestly, have they ever raised with you the issue of these, but your government may impose a one-off super gains tax on us 5 years down the line? These sort of things that are not on the books now, but like your government did, they impose this. Has it caught the eye of these foreign companies? Have they mentioned it to you?
In order to clear such doubts only, we are trying to formulate laws and place things black and white on the desk, so that anyone walking in would walk in fearlessly.
Right. But when these super gains taxes are retrospectively applied, then they may cause a problem.
Well, I don't think this government, as a very progressive government which has in mind to promote investment into the country, and which as a policy wants to create confidence and strengthen confidence of the investor, will think of such retrospective acts.
Are we really walking the talk?
Yeah.
Well, of course, there are obstacles, challenges, that's there like in any government. But really, the President is committed to take these transparent policies forward. So is the Prime Minister. So we will be able to, I suppose, as the Cabinet and as the government, will be able to achieve what is expected by the people of the government.
The bond issue was not transparent?
Well, that's what I said. There had been such issues. And if we think that people are fools and they forget, lots of people think Sri Lankans forget. But not many forget, but there are a few who do not forget as well. So as government...
My friend Faras never forgets the bond issue.
No, as government, as members of parliament, we have to be mindful of that. There are governments, there had been governments who have done a lot to the country, but due to certain things, they were sent back home. This is a clear democracy.
Yes. Well,
you were the deputy speaker in the
but Chanima, clear democracy, and I appreciate the fact that you're here, and you are a guest here. But we must take issue with this thing. The Prime Minister has promised us an investigation into, let's say, the central bank bond matter. Nothing's happened. We had Sunil Handuneti here and was very vociferous about the bond issue. He's now the chairman of CORE. We haven't heard from him. We are extending an invitation to him to come back on our show and tell us what he's doing about that. We continue to plug the case, and we want Mr. Tilak Karunaratne to come on the show. He's now agreed to come. In fact, he's coming on the show next week. But what we're trying to say is there is no consistency. When the Prime Minister announces in Parliament that he wants to have an investigation, I think the onus is on him to deliver. And when he doesn't, the media does its job. We highlight what they're supposed to be doing. Why is this sort of, you promise one thing and you do absolutely nothing?
Well, I believe as a citizen as well as an attorney at law, we must try and put systems in place in this country. Otherwise, every consecutive government before coming to power, will highlight a few key issues and say, this will be handled, this person will be brought to justice, all kind of thing. And even if only a handful of things are looked into, and if the same old system continues in the country, people, I believe, haven't achieved anything. But now there is a police commission. It is up to the police commission to act independently. There cannot be any interference. Yeah. And there is an Attorney General's department, which has always been independent. And our judicial system, our courts have had a long history. So if these institutions can function efficiently, whether it's
independently,
like irrespective of the fact that it is bonds issue or it's some other issue, I suppose the country, people will have faith in the system and the government. That I remember when I was a young state council, we had a monthly review meeting. So Attorney General said, our Solicitor General that time, he said, as State Council, we should understand of the cases. I know that you have a lot of matters, files. Of your volumes, you should know which of those are priorities. There may be matters where the government is concerned, the ministers are concerned. So you must know how to handle. Then thereafter was the Attorney General.
Yes.
In his speech, he said, there is nothing that we can say is more important or lesser important. Every file is important, especially the file that you may think is more important is probably the least important, because the lesser important file belongs to the man who doesn't have a voice. So that should be the policy, I suppose.
Thank you very much. And in your quest to establish fair play and an equitable playing ground, we wish you all the best. But do come back on the show and tell us how you're getting on. Thank you for your presence. Thank you, Bandula.
Thank you for that.
And on that note, thank you for watching Newsline, and keep watching TV1, the new channel from the Capital Maharaja Group. Take care and God bless.
Thank you very much for inviting me.